Well, hello everybody. This is Bob Moore with Oxford Computer Group. Thank you for joining us today. This is our series of Enabling Identity in a Cloud Environment webinars, a series of webinars, and this taking a little different approach. Usually we're focused on a technical bent, talking about how to deploy technology, but because of where we sit in identity and access management, we have a unique view of the business aspects, the strategic decision making, and we think we start to see some insights, and we want to share that with you today. So I'm VP of Sales for Oxford Computer Group, and I work primarily in the eastern part of the country. So I'll get started, and there's a chat window, so if you have questions, please drop them into the window, and maybe when we're finished we can go through and we can talk to. All right. So just for a little bit of context, so Oxford Computer Group is an identity and access management provider. We've been doing that for over 10 years. Our focus is in the Microsoft stack. Primarily, we've been focused on on-premises for most of those years, managing user access rights on-premises. In the past few years, what Microsoft's been doing in the cloud has really driven us to do more architecture and design sessions with business decision makers, identifying how cloud fits into their overall identity and access management strategy. So some of the things that we've found, just a quick summary, is the need is certainly there. That some Forrester research here is that 74% of workers are using their own device for work, so that data is on their personal device, that they're using 3 or more devices when they access tablets and phones, laptops, and 80% use non-approved SaaS applications, so corporate data is going places that IT is not aware of. We found that most organizations at this point have adopted point solutions in order to manage this need, to address that need. And also that most organizations have a considerable on-premise investment, and they want to leverage the benefits of cloud and the cloud marketplace, but they have to and want to also deal with their on-premises environment. So just a little graphic on the purpose of IT and what your responsibility is to enable business workloads for the lines of business. Either it's HR bringing people on board or certain lines of business, and that has to that involves integration and the support of different components, from a step-up authentication, single sign-on for usability, access and rights management, device management, managing people through groups, and then synchronizing all that data across both the cloud and on-premises environment. So these capabilities have to work across that environment, from cloud to on-premises, and support these business workloads. So this is what we found. In the past year, we've gone out to many customers, and we're looking at their environment, and it's almost like it's, you know, they've gone from on-premise mail to cloud mail as phase 1. Phase 2 is, okay, now we have devices and we have people that want to access SaaS applications, so let's find some solutions to do that. And it makes sense that the need is there, and venture capital money comes in, or capital comes in, and solutions get developed, and they get a position in the market. And so we see, when we go out to work with our clients, that most of them have taken an identity management or a single sign-on cloud hybrid solution and stitched that together with a mobile device management solution. So like Okta and AirWatch, or Ping and Mobile Iron. So there's these loosely integrated, if at any, solutions to manage those particular needs. What we don't really see, though, is a solution for on-premises management either. And when you think about how these point solutions are going to maintain relevance in their environment, they're going to have to go into areas, either in Okta going into mobile device management, managing on premises, trying to replace maybe Active Directory on premises. So there's going to be an expansion of all of these point solutions. So our decision makers are out there looking for this. They want an integrated solution of piece parts that fit together. But what they seem to be afraid of is they've created this. Just a bunch of non-integrated solutions that when they begin to layer on workloads, that they're not going to be able to do flow through. And what will end up happening is we'll have to recreate this. And this is just a spaghetti diagram of an on-premises cloud environment with processes and manual workloads and scripts that all have to be managed and updated internally. So what we're seeing really is that the risk of inherent point solutions now, risk inherent in point solutions becoming aware now. And decision makers looking at this solution portfolio they've put together of loosely integrated products. So what they have to do is manage disjointed product releases. So each one is expanding. Each one wants you to upgrade their technology. You end up layering over different features and capabilities. That inhibits data protection. Can you really be sure that data is being protected across the environment when you're working through different applications? There's limited agility and responsiveness because your line of business might look to roll out a new application that cuts across those capabilities of single sign-on and secure data and out to mobile devices, yet the different solution components might not support that. Reporting is difficult, and it might not satisfy audit. It's hard to prove to audit that you have a control when you're just reporting from a certain component of the solution and not end-to-end. Then, of course, there's different interfaces and methods, so you have to have that kind of expertise on staff. And then when hot fixes and upgrades come out, who do you blame for that? You know, who is responsible for a hot fix in one application that breaks another one? So I couldn't resist putting this slide in there, but it's a common workload. So these common workloads in business that we're going to go step through, I've got 4 of them that will test the integrity of the approach. So the first one is joiners, movers, and leavers. And this is just standard identity management. People join the organization, their information needs to be entered once, propagated out to the systems, accounts created. When they move jobs, that needs to be managed, that their access is either suspended or time-boxed and for their old job and access to their new job. And then, of course, when they leave the organization, that needs to be removed or disabled. And this is what we've been doing over the past 10 years. It requires harmony and a good degree of integration to make that happen across these different components. And that's just on premises. So imagine now, layer on what's going to be happening in cloud. Not what's happening today, but what's going to be, and we'll talk a little bit about that in a second, with the ability to manage huge user groups of clients and partners and collaboration, and layer that onto what is a loosely configured point solution. The second workload is authentication. Who are you? Of course, systems need to authenticate in order to give you access, but too much authentication is a poor user experience, and too little hurts security. Yet, by putting together a point solution approach, then you're not able to propagate out authentication across the platform. So again, this requires the systems to work together closely for security and usability, and really an integrated solution works best for that. Workload 3 is secure data sharing, and this is top of mind, I think, for anybody that's watching the news now. And you heard about Sony and a spreadsheet that was found in the mail that talked about executives' compensation. So secure data sharing is critical, and it has to be not just through a single application, but across the platform. And yet, when you're trying to integrate that across different solution components, it's a challenge. And a single gap can create a vulnerability that can be exploited. And then there's reporting. And reporting is not just a workload for compliance, that's critical, but it's also for threat analysis, real-time analysis, for capacity planning, pardon me. And that has to extend across all systems. And if it doesn't, then the validity of that reporting is questioned and the value is minimized. So what is the optimum approach? And we see this when we're out talking to clients. They have these solutions already deployed. They're looking into the future. What's going to be happening? How am I going to be supporting the business? And they're asking for a platform approach. And that platform is integrated with multi-factor authentication, providing single sign-on, providing solutions for rights management, device management, enabling the organization to manage groups, and then keeping all of that data in synchronization. And so the integrated platform then will be able to take on those expanded workloads as the user groups grow and grow. So the benefit of a platform approach is that you get an orchestrated, workload-centric release. Data is protected across applications and devices in different formats. There's an increased agility to implement new capabilities. So that works with bullet one. An orchestrated release of a new capability gets uploaded and you can support the line of business there. There's integrated reporting across a single platform that supports security and also supports reporting, audit. Consistent interfaces and methods, so you have management consistency and staffing within your organization. And preferred customer status and economics of mega scale. So if you're buying from individual clients, you really use individual vendors, you lose the ability to be important to those vendors, but buying from a single vendor allows you to be to get preferred customer status and then to benefit from the mega scale and the economies that they're receiving from deploying in the cloud. Then of course you get the single point of responsibility. There is somebody responsible and that's your partner in this. So the question to this point has been, is the platform ready? And what we're seeing is yes, that the point solutions are deployed. Clients are now looking, how do I begin to migrate from a point solution approach onto the platform? And that the platform now has the capabilities and across the different workloads to be able to support that. And we'll go into that in a second. So looking at the Microsoft offering, there's products that already work together. So Forefront Identity Manager, which is now Microsoft Identity Manager, already works with Active Directory, and that syncs up to Azure Active Directory. It uses ADFS for federation. There's a roles-based access control component. So these products already form the basis of that of a platform approach. And I think you can use System Center Configuration Manager and Windows Intune as an excellent example of why a platform works the best. That by deploying that solution, you get a single pane of glass. So you're managing all your devices, updates, and fixes and inventory through a single product, not through multiple products, which is the case when you deploy a point solution. Also, there's some very interesting things happening with Microsoft. We're in a unique position, both working with clients, but also working with Microsoft. We're able to step back a little bit and see where they're going and where they're putting their investment and then seeing the results of that. They announced recently that Windows 10 is being released, and Windows 10 is more than just another incremental release of the product. It's going to support and drive this platform approach by having a single OS across all devices. So applications and authentication all works on that single OS. Deeply engaged in that is going to be multi-factor authentication. It's going to be integrated with Azure Active Directory, so you won't be using Microsoft accounts anymore. It'll be Azure Active Directory. That's a big step toward this platform. Office 365 also a big step toward the platform, not in the mail that they release, but in the components that they're integrating that we'll talk about in a second of multi-factor authentication and rights management and mobile device management into Office 365. Of course, you can get the benefit of their business intelligence that across this mega scale of users and authentication, their threat vectors are more apparent or can be discovered. Plus, you learn to optimize your network that way. So from Microsoft perspective, these products are here. This platform is ready, and clients are beginning to migrate onto the platform. A component of the platform is Enterprise Mobility Suite. The Enterprise Mobility Suite is a packaging of components for rights management, mobile device management, and user management in the cloud, and then back onto on-premises. So it brings together those productivity components. So hybrid identity is supported through Azure Active Directory. That provides group management. You can get security reports, self-service password reset out in the cloud, which is a very elegant self-service password reset. As a matter of fact, FIM has that component too. And almost every client we're working with now, we're recommending the Azure-based self-service password reset. It's just a better approach. For mobile device management, it's management across multiple platforms and security settings, selective wipe, application management, hardware and software inventory. And then in access and information protection, probably one of the most powerful components of EMS is the ability to encrypt data, either documents, mail, PDFs, across the platform and deliver those outside of your organization and still maintain the encryption and the security with the document. It's very powerful. And if you're licensing Office 365 now, you have a component of that built into your solution. So our clients are faced with this strategic decision at this point, and they're thinking not for tomorrow, but they're thinking for 12 to 18 months to 24 months out, and it's where should we invest now? And we believe that the money's going toward the platform, and we believe that because there's been a consistent roadmap and because Microsoft has been proving what they said last year through their actions, through delivery of product, delivery of capability, this convergence that we're seeing across their platform products. And also, users or decision makers are looking, seeing millions of testers out there, millions of users using the platform every day. And in our view, Microsoft is all in on this approach, and they can't afford to get it wrong. If they get it wrong, then it's impactful. So that's an assurance that our customers are taking away. And so in investing so heavy in their future, they're investing in our future, but also in the future of their clients. So wrapping up, how do you get there? So the goal is to structure the roadmap for a hybrid organization that helps to migrate from the existing point solution separation between cloud and on-premises to a platform approach. And that involves determining the best fit for features and capabilities based on requirements for on-premises or cloud-based capabilities. Then structuring a migration path, so over the course of 12 to 18 months, maybe shorter, migrating out from point solutions onto the platform, developing a decommissioning plan, and implementing that. And so what we do is we help to develop the roadmap for implementing these technologies and supporting those workloads across that hybrid environment. So we've got two ideas to get started. The first is a short OCG IDA strategy engagement where an architect meets with the user group, understands what the requirements are for user management. Where are you in the cloud now? Where do you want to go? And then we'll map that roadmap with near-term deliverables that bring value to the organization. So if you're interested in that, drop something in the window, and Jackie, who's monitoring, will go ahead and capture that. The second is our third annual Redmond Identity Management Summit. This is coming up in January. It's January 27th through the 29th. It's in Redmond. We do it in Redmond because we get the support of the product group. This is really the only place that you can come and get a single view of what Microsoft's doing in identity for the year. So Alex Simons is a keynote speaker. He runs the Azure Active Directory product group, and he'll be talking about successes, implementation, and he'll be talking also about what the roadmap is for the next 6 months. And they'll also on the agenda is talking about where Azure Active Directory is going in different business models for looking at B2B and B2C, and a bunch of other stuff. There's an NDA discussion also. So we encourage you to come out and participate with in the summit. Again, if you want to just drop that in the box or send us an email, we'll make sure we get you out the invite. And for anybody who's listening today and they want to come, we have a special discount, and Jackie will make sure you get that. So that's the discussion today, and I want to thank you all for joining. Are there any questions? Well, it doesn't look like we have any, but I want to thank you. Please keep our email. Send us a question if you have it, and I hope to see you at the summit at the end of January. Thank you very much. Take care.